We're talking about the diet voted the best overall for 3 years in a row, the DASH diet. Now, Marlo's version of the DASH diet has two parts to it. We'll look exactly how each one of these works. Basically, guys, this is the first 2 weeks of your life, and that's the rest of your life over there. That's how straightforward and simple this is. First 2 weeks of your life over here, the rest of your life over there. So, let's get to the first 2 weeks. You argue, in order to shrink your waistline these first 2 weeks, we're going to start off with an interesting change in dynamic. What's so important about this phase?
The first 2 weeks, what we're trying to do is to relearn to eat, filling up on a lot of bulky, filling, low-calorie foods, which are the vegetables, and then pairing that up with a lot of protein-rich foods, heart-healthy fats that quench your hunger.
Okay, so
it
take us
makes
through
it
this.
easy to follow.
So, again, the first part, you mentioned these non-starchy vegetables.
Right, and it could be everything from tomatoes, it could be a salad, the green beans. For a snack, there's no reason you can't have vegetables for a snack, so those are great things to have for snacks.
All right, and how about lean meats here and other sources of protein?
And we also have our beans on here as well, so if somebody's a vegetarian, they can follow it, or you can have beans for your diet, even if you're not a vegetarian. But then we've got things like our lean chicken, we've got some lean beef, I believe, there,
Yep.
and we've got some low-fat cheese, and we've got nuts. Nuts have protein, and they also have heart-healthy fat.
So the key issue, I would think, is that it's not much saturated fat, but you still get the
Absolutely.
protein.
Absolutely. So you've got a very nice, healthy foundation. You're learning to fill up on the vegetables, quench your hunger with the lean protein foods.
Which nudges us to the third part of this program, which are where to get the right fats, these healthy fats that are particularly good for the heart. You've got examples here.
We've got the olive oil, which everyone knows about. Avocados. Remember when people were afraid of fat? Avocados are actually a great thing to have in your diet, very healthy. Salmon has got the right kind of fat. It's got the omega-3s that we want to get more of. So those are all great choices.
So we just gave you three things, right? You're all clear on this, right? You're going to bulk up with vegetables. You're going to satiate your hunger with lean proteins, and we get you with the healthy fats. Now, we're going to take something small away from you, because the step 4 of this program is to stay away from starches and sugars. Why is that so important?
For the first 2 weeks, we want your blood sugar to be very, very calm. We don't want to get on that roller coaster where it's soaring up and then it crashes and then you're getting all the cravings. So we're just taking this away for the first 2 weeks.
Now, the trick here is a lot of folks don't really realize where the sugar is. So, Marla, you said there are two big surprises. You want to walk us through them?
I love fruits. They're extremely healthy, but during the first 2 weeks, we don't want to be having these in. We'll bring them back, I promise, but during the first 2 weeks, we're just leaving them at the side.
And why are you so strict about starches?
Starch breaks down to sugar, so that can also cause your blood sugar to get on that roller coaster, surge up, and then crash, and then you're looking for something sweet really, really fast. So during the first 2 weeks, we're just leaving those in the back. We're not going to have them the first 2 weeks.
Even if they're 100% whole grain carbs?
Absolutely. All starch breaks down to glucose, which is your blood sugar. So we're trying to keep those more on an even keel during the first 2 weeks.
Well, how about caffeine? Let me ask on behalf of our audience, because they're going to be thinking that.
Caffeine is also a great thing to have, but we want it only with a meal or snack because caffeine will also cause your blood sugar to spike up a little bit. You can handle it, though, if it's with a meal or a snack.
How many of you would do this to lose 7 pounds in a week? From the audience is signed up. I got to say, having heard those testimonials from our 3 guests who are on this seems like a pretty straightforward program. And the fact that most every doctor you're going to meet is going to think this is a smart way to go is equally reinforced. Okay, you finished the first 2 weeks.
Right.
Now let's move on to the rest of our lives. Take us through what we can add back and some tips about how to do it right. Again, this begins after the 14th day of the program.
And our fruit comes back in. It's one of the things you're so excited when you get to add the fruits back in. And here we've got beautiful solutions. We've got the strawberries, we've got bananas, oranges. So these are all really great sources for your fruit. And it has fiber. Yes, it has sugar, but it also has a lot of fiber, so you're not going to absorb it as fast. And you've also learned how to avoid those cravings. So now we're fine with that.
And I see you put grains back in here. Are there any restrictions on these?
On the grains, we want people to choose mostly whole grains. Try not to do a lot of the refined foods. You'd rather have the whole grains. And please read the labels so you make sure you're getting breads and cereals that actually have whole grains as their first ingredient. So that's very, very important. But like everything, brown rice, the crackers with whole grains, those are great choices.
And we haven't seen dairy until now, but you argue we can add this back after the first 2 weeks.
You can have the milk back in after the first 2 weeks. And again, the milk sugar was a little bit of a concern for the first 2 weeks because we don't want that sugar, but you can come in when you're eating in a much more healthy way. You've really learned new tricks on how to eat.
We've been talking around sugar. You know, you let us have bits of it back now, but let's talk about actual real sugar. If someone wants to have a cookie, can they have it in this part of the program?
They can. And one of the things I really encourage people to do, again, is to save it up for something really, really good. Don't blow it on something junk like you just see some corn chips or something someplace. Save it up for the foods that you really, really like. Then you'll be able to stay with it, and you're going to find your cravings, again, they've disappeared. You just have this in a nice, pleasant way, so it's not driving you that you have to have something sweet at the last moment.
And is wine equal to a cookie, essentially, in the DASH diet?
Well, you could really consider it as being a serving of fruit, because it is grape juice that's been converted, so that can be a serving.
I like that. From now on, from now on, a glass of wine equals a serving of fruit.
Absolutely. But by and large, you'd rather eat the fruit instead of drinking it because it's going to be more
You already
filling.
said it was equal. Can't take it back anymore. This is how dietitians are. You're a nutritionist, they'll speak up on you. All right. So I like the DASH diet a lot. I like it because it's simple, it's easy to follow, it is good for your health, and it's been proven to be so in so many different ways beneficial.